Hey, you guys, is that better? Is it still muted? Good lord, what the hell is actually happening right now? Sorry, you guys, let me just figure this out real quick. Microphone, properties, boom. Yeah, is that okay, you guys? Is that sounding better? Yeah, you know what? Let me stop this stream. I'm going to come back on because obviously there's some technical issues at this point in time. OBS is acting real crazy right now. It sounds okay. It sounds okay. Okay, that's promising to hear, you guys. Yeah, perfect, perfect, loud and clear. Hey. Thank God, real talk. I don't even know what the hell happened then. It seemed like on OBS my settings weren't even set up, so apologies for that, you guys. But anyway, I'm back, and today I'm here to bring you guys the Q&A live stream. So it's an opportunity for all of you to have any questions that you want answered by me. Of course, just to let you guys know real quick, before I get into things, today's video is brought to you by the One Football app, as you can see beside me. Keep stressing it all the time. Give it a go. See how you find it. It's going to be like another month until football potentially comes back. And when it does, you'll be even better prepared because you'll have the One Football app beside you. It is the best football companion app for a reason. So if you want to see what it's saying, give it a download. You'll find it in the link below in the description. Anyway, you guys, let's go straight into asking questions. You know how it works. You know how the thing goes. Great. Now it's echoing like a robot. Oh my God. You know what, you guys? You know what? I'm going to come back. I'm going to stop this stream. I'm going to figure out what's happening. Is that better now? Is that sounding okay now? I'm sounding like Lil Wayne. You know what? Give it a few seconds. Obviously, I'm quite rusty at this point in time. It's been a long time. I completely forgot that the settings weren't even fully done. Normally, it's just like that. So apologies for that. But I'm hoping everything's all right at this point in time. It's still echoing. Now, yeah, I'm sounding like Lil Wayne. Okay, but I'm sounding good. Now I'm sounding good. Finally. You know what? I'm going to start asking questions right now. I don't know what's been happening today. Starting with SFN Worldwide, because you were the first person to say hi to me. So it's only fair that I answer your question first. What's the latest on Jovic and Tellez? Now, that is pretty interesting because there is no latest on Jovic. I've got a tier list video coming out tomorrow. I think you guys might like it. I'm going to be breaking down all our transfer targets and who I think should be like the priority signings, second, third choice, fantasy, players we should monitor, players we don't need, and players that we got to say hell no to. I think you guys will find it entertaining. It's going to be coming out tomorrow. When it comes to Jovic, yeah, there's no reports. I don't think we're looking at the player at all, to be honest. Maybe under Sarri it was like that. Maybe if the agent's talking, maybe he's trying to garner some interest up again. But at this point in time, we're not looking at Jovic, and it makes a lot of sense because he doesn't really fit how we play. Like, if you look at how he's doing at Real Madrid at this point in time, you know, they play with a deep line forward in Benzema, who's going to like drop deep, link the play, hold up the ball, etc., etc. Jovic isn't that guy. He likes to play off the ball on a more like withdrawn role, late runs from deep. We saw how he performed well for Frankfurt last season. You know, he had Haller holding the ball up, Rebic running in behind, and of course that gave him all the time and space and freedom. The timers runs late, and I mean, we saw that when we played against them, when he scored that amazing header against us. You know, that's what his game's about. And obviously with how we play, we don't want our striker doing that. Our striker has to lead the line. And Jovic is showing that maybe he's not that type of player. So honestly, I don't see why we should be looking at him at all. I don't think that he's worth changing the system as well, because our system is very good. The stats show that we're performing really well, but unfortunately it's been like the players and the personnel that haven't executed everything at times. But if you look at the stats, we are like right up there for nearly everything. So it tells us that the system is good. Once we get better players for it, that's when things are going to get better. So Jovic, Tellez is what everything that's coming out from Portugal. I guess he's talks, nothing concrete at this point in time. Of course, if there is anything, you guys know, you'll be hearing it here first. Let me go on. Yes, Shiva, thank you for the super chat. Just to remind you guys, if you send a super chat, remember to type your question first. Type your question first. It's an easy mistake to make, but obviously I feel bad now because you kind of gave me a donation for no reason. But obviously, thanks. I'll see if I can find your question. Oh shit, I found it. All right, a loan move for Griezmann for a season. How would that sound? Oh, a loan move for Griezmann. That is a really interesting question. Obviously, the first thing I'm thinking about is how much is Griezmann going to cost? It's going to cost a ton of money. Like his wages, he must be earning at least, what would you say, 300,000 at Barcelona. So if he came here, he would be the highest earner at the club. I think he would suit how he play. Of course, Griezmann prefers to play in a role where he's not really too involved in the build-up. So how we play would really suit him. A loan move to, Tammy can learn from him, competition. I think it could still work. Crazy things have happened. If Griezmann became a possibility because of a loan move, actually, when you really think about it, I mean, Barcelona are looking at Lautaro Martinez. There's a reason for that. There's no way in hell they're going to have Suarez, Martinez, and Griezmann together. Maybe their move for Martinez depends on if they can get rid of Griezmann, who's been okay, but clearly doesn't suit how Barca play. And this was really weird by they even signed him in the first place, really. Like, Barcelona's transfer strategies these past few seasons have been absolutely... This has been weird. It hasn't really made no sense. So I don't know what the hell's happening with them. But yeah, I think Griezmann, if something happened, Marina came through and made some Marina magic happen. Who knows? Anything can happen, my friend. But anyway, let's move on. Josh Banks, how you doing, bro? Let me find. Oh, I missed. Okay, what do you make of us agreeing a fee for Gabriel from Lille? Now, of course, it's coming from Duncan Castle. It's interesting. I haven't heard too much about it. I'm hoping to hear some more information. Of course, Duncan has been, he's proven that he has the right sources. He's released a few articles over the past that, they have held up. They have held weight. It's interesting. This Gabriel, in that sense, would fit the criteria of a defender that has a left foot playing on the left-hand side. So I guess there is logic behind this story, but is it maybe a bit too premature? Is he maybe predicted things that haven't really been finalized or things that aren't too concrete? I don't know. It's interesting, of course. Gabriel, maybe let's keep one thing very real. Clubs, scouts, that the data analytics they have, the way they analyze players, listen, it's on a level that I'm sure none of us don't even understand or can comprehend. So maybe there is something behind the player that we don't know, because come on, we're not watching Lille play every single week. So I think with this story, let's see what happens. Let's give it some time. Let's see if there's more traction behind it, and see what happens. Let's go on. Nini, ESPN FC been gassing Sanchez to Manchester United to be favourites. Any truth or just Mickey Mouse blogs? I don't really, if I'm being serious, no one's leading the race at this point in time. I guess maybe United's were perceived to be leading the race because they've been the most aggressive one, being more public about things. But so in that sense, you could technically say that they are leading, but I mean that's really pushing it, and that's typical of journalism, to be honest. Obviously, when you do YouTube and you do news videos and you constantly just read these stories every single day, you really start to you clock onto some patterns. You clock onto some patterns of how they produce the stories, the strategies. That's the word, the strategies behind how they produce the stories. And a lot of it comes down to keywords and obviously finding yourself in the algorithm and in the search engines. And how many times we read articles, you're opening it, from big journalists, and it's a paragraph. Really a paragraph. Hey, it's mad, really. It's mad. But what isn't mad is Lou H. Thank you, bro. Your super chat is, do you think Neymar or Mbappe could sign for us? Wow. I kind of feel like maybe, I don't know, man, maybe in FIFA, if I'm keeping things very real. I mean, who knows, maybe at some crazy point in the future. We have a habit of signing all these world-class players when they're has-beens, when they're 35, 34. So maybe old man Neymar could be a future one day. I don't know. Mbappe, hey, that, it'd be sick, yeah. At some point this decade, that we pull off like a big boy signing, we sign one of the very best top 3 players in the world type of signing. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the one type of signing that we haven't been able to make yet. If things continue to go on being successful with us, though, who knows what we're gonna be opening ourselves up to. So who knows? But bro, if you're talking about for next season, Griezmann or Neymar or Mbappe, hey, my friend, you're better just playing FIFA and trying and hoping that EA are going to give you some good pack luck, bro, because that's not going to happen. Let's continue on. N3N underscore. How confident are you that Sancho will come to Chelsea? Please answer my question. Well, because he asked like that, how can I not answer? It's all my personal hunches. That's what I've been giving you guys throughout the season. You know, I'm very clear when I'm saying what's the news and when it's my opinion. But I think there's a possibility that Sancho could be a thing. I think the only realistic thing that would block us from making the signing would be down to Sancho if he decides to stay at Dortmund, which I think is quite realistic, because with Haaland coming, I think that he's changed things. And, you know, I'm always saying on this channel, you know, things change daily. Things happen all the time, you know. Back then, maybe Sancho was more clear about wanting to leave at the end of the season, but now things are looking a bit different. You're realizing you're quite young, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, I know that maybe Real Madrid, Barcelona, they're not going to sign me. There's no room for me. They've got options there. You know, my next big club to sign will probably be back in the Premier League, but, you know, realistically, I'm not going to go back to Man City. They let me go. You know, Arsenal, it's going to be a long time before they become a big club. And then you're looking at maybe United and us, and you're thinking, okay, they've got the money, they can give me those aspirations to play the football I want to play at the level I want to play at, and obviously win things. But you might be thinking, okay, but when are they going to win a league? Because United haven't been too great since Alex Ferguson left. And Chelsea, you know, they've got a new project, lots of young players, but when's that going to come into fruition? So maybe Sancho and his camp and his team, they might be thinking, hold on, we got all the power. We're holding all the power, basically. We're holding all the power right now. We've got options. You're on a nice wage at Dortmund. You're already earning 6 figures a week already. You know, don't just move for the sake of it. You could win something, build a legacy. That's only going to build your rep even more. And now knowing that the Euros is going to be in 2021. So that could be a better time to make a move, because that way Dortmund will get maximum amount of money. Sancho will get maximum amount of wages. I don't know. I'm just like speculating and thinking, but I mean, that's the only way that I don't see us signing Sancho. Of course, you got to respect United. I mean, they have the money. They can offer crazy wages. That's how they signed Sanchez and guys from us, offering like 500k. But you know what I mean? I still think that football-wise, Sancho is going to care about that and not the money. I think players care more about the money as they're getting older, and as we saw with Sanchez in particular. So if you're asking me, I can't help but see us not being the favourites. I mean, all his boys play for us already. Like, you know what I mean? He's a fan of the club too. I think something crazy would have to happen, like Sancho staying or us saying we don't want to spend that type of money on him. But I would be quite disappointed, to be honest, if we didn't make that ambitious signing. But anyway, you guys, give me 1 sec. I had a super chat. Let me just get that ready on screen. If it comes up on screen, where the hell is the super chat? Sorry, you guys, 1 sec. I miss your live chats. You think season will restart? I'm not too sure about that. I think at this point in time, let's see what happens once it gets to the 30th of April. That's like the deadline, basically. I mean, there's talks that maybe July, August, it could continue. There's a few games left. I wouldn't mind personally ending the season. Yeah, because I think we've got a good chance of getting top 4. And I think once we have that secured, then I think it makes it easier to get signings then. So yeah, that's my stance on things. But anyway, I'm going to answer some more questions. And you guys, of course, you know, if you want your question prioritized, want me to like delve into it and talk deeper into it, then send a super chat. Nothing too crazy, just something affordable, you know. But anyway, let me continue on. Drogba, King of Stamford Bridge. Okay, wrong question. Race the FC10. Do you think Sancho is a realistic target, other than the fact that he has been a Chelsea target? He's good enough to play for Real or Barca, but I mean, you know, on the right, the left, Barca got options. Madrid have options. You know, let's not forget they've spent a crazy amount of money on, you know, on signing every top under 18 Brazilian player recently. You know, Reina, Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr., Hazard. I mean, they got options. So This is what I mean. I don't think at this point in time Sancho would even think to go to La Liga, to be honest. But we continue on. Lamar Thomas Nini, who do you think you want us to sign up front? Martinez, Werner, or Jovic? Out of those three options, I prefer Lautaro Martinez, but I still think it's quite fantasy. Jovic was, I don't know why people talk about him, to be honest. It's like you understand why he was so good at Frankfurt, understand why he fell in love with the player, and then look at why it's not happening at Real Madrid. You know, I mean, he's on a lot of money. He hasn't really done anything. So that's my stance on things. Denny on Zeri. Why aren't Chelsea going for Alphonso Davies? That's because Bayern Munich have signed him. Obviously, he's playing first team for them as well. He's playing for a team that's probably better than us as well. So I don't see why he'd want to leave, especially when everything's so new to. So, yeah, man, I don't think we're at that stage right now where we can start tempting Bayern to sell like their best young talent so quickly. We're not at that level. Let's continue on. Christy, what do you think of the new stadium, and should the ticket price become cheaper for the working class? You know what, ideally, I like to see that happen. You know, for me, modern day football, once we allowed all like big business and these lawyers and bankers get involved and run clubs, they started to corporatize everything. Everything became bigger business, and everything became about attracting advertisers. And you know what happens when advertisers get involved? Things have to become PG-13. And I've always found it kind of funny because in football, these advertisers will try and gas the game like it's a family game, it's a family sport, blah, 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 which is nonsense. Because if you go to a stadium, I've been going since I was a kid, non-stop swear words, non-stop this, non-stop that. And it's just like, who are you trying to fool? And of course, they sell that narrative because they're not attracting people like us. They're attracting like maybe your middle class or, your average person that maybe isn't that much in love with football, but they're cool to watch a few games or get a bit of entertainment by doing something different. You know what I mean? So I just find it just depressing with how things are, to be honest. And I think for those reasons, that's why, even though I'd love to see ticket prices come down, because I think long term, fan support's getting older and older and older every single year. Young fans aren't going to games. What is going to happen in the future? Are more games going to be streams? Is that going to be the future of like football? I'm not too sure. But at this point in time, you're pricing out so many new young people that that you need to grow that long-term fan base. It's quite sad, but that's what happens when everything's just money, 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 profit, profit, profit. Like the soul of stuff just dies, doesn't become important. And fans, I mean, come on, do you think clubs or anyone really care about fans? Really? But just like stats and figures and spreadsheets that buy this, do that, like cheap, because we love football, we love our clubs. So it's just depressing times, really. But you guys, I need to find a more upbeat question, and I got really depressing real quick then. But Sammy, who do you think is our best centre back? Please answer my question. Good lords, why doesn't I keep finding questions I say please answer my question? I've said it on this channel for a long time. For me, I'd say Kurt Zouma, like pound for pound, is our best defender. Like if you were to like give him a rating from like 1 to 10, he scores 7s and 8s for a lot of things. And I think once you added the scores up and gave it an average, he'd be better than your Christensens, Rudigers, and Tomoris. So, yeah, I think King Kurt is doing it, man. Christian, how you doing, man? I wonder what happened to that Alex kid that used to be in Needy Streams. I don't know what happened to him, and I don't want to know what happened to him. Mike Edmiston, thanks, Mike. Nini, glad you're staying safe, bud. If we could sign one person right now, who would it be? Realistic signing and based on rumours or links. I mean, it's got to be, it's obvious. It has to be Jadon Sancho. That's the one guy I want us to sign. I don't know if you guys have been doing the same thing, but now that football isn't around, I'm not going to lie, but now when I'm dreaming, I'm having so many football dreams. And one thing I keep seeing, one vision I keep seeing is Hudson-Odoi on one flank, Jadon Sancho on the other. It needs to happen. There won't be a better opportunity to make it happen. Let's pray it does. So, oh shit. Thank you, the Green Turf. Really appreciate that, bro. And you've been killing it, man. The consistency. I'm happy that your channel's going well. I really appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. Ferdinand Clement. Why Chelsea want to spend money on one big player instead of fixing the whole team? I mean, who knows? Listen, we got money from last season, but we'll have money once hopefully this season ends as well. We'll be selling players. I think we'll sell probably both Emerson and Alonso. That's bringing in at least, 60 mil, plus other players on top of that. So when you add up the costs, I'm predicting that we spend between like 200 to 300 million. That's the price I'm like predicting us to spend during the window. And I think that you could afford to sign Sancho's and other players if that involves, obviously, players being sold to help cover the fees. So let's see what happens. It's not too mad. If you look at players, if you were to make smart acquisitions, like let's say a Tagliafico for 25 mil and, other players and keepers as well. Let's say, for example, you want to sign Onana and Tagliafico. Acts like if we're going to sign both players together, they might give us like a little discount or something. Who knows? But I'm going to move on to the next super chat. Thank you, Caleb. Appreciate that, man. Hey, bro. Happy to support. Love your vids. My fave Chelsea memory is experiencing the CL final 2012 with my dad. What is your favorite Chelsea memory? You're not going to believe me, man, but your memory is the exact same memory. It's the same. We got the same memory because I went to the CL final with my dad as well. Like I remember, we went to Hamburg first. We went there to see my uncle, and then we drove from Hamburg all the way to Bavaria. And when I got there, it was so surreal. Honestly, it was so surreal because it's like obviously once we won the tournament, it didn't sink in for like at least like a few days. Yeah, it's mad how it was like that. It was just like the build up. You've been waiting for this moment. You're dreaming. You're thinking, are we ever going to win a Champions League? And it happens. And it's just like, you don't even know how to react. But I just remember that day in Munich. It was literally a sea of red. Because like, it was like a uni town, like a student town. So there were like tons of students there, all Bayern fans naturally. Tons of places to drink and eat. The beer there as well. And the beer garden is absolutely amazing. I can't lie, I love going to Germany. I've been lucky that I've been there a few times. Like, I went to the other Chelsea vs Bayern game when we lost 3-2 to them. That was when we beat them 4-2 in the first day, like all them years back. I was young back then. That was a sick experience too. Like my first European away. No, that wasn't my first one. My first European away game was Monaco in the Champions League semi-final. That was when when Yeri really fumbled the bag that day. Good Lord, he completely fumbled it. How come Monaco be down to 10 men? And when Yeri, for some reason, decides to bring on 2 strikers in the first half, oh my. To this day, it makes no sense. But I'm starting to ramble, you guys. I'm starting to reminisce and think about like the good old days. But yeah, man, that's what I mean. That was a great memory too. Champions League final. I'm hoping that at some point this decade, we get ourselves back into a Champions League final. That's really the dream, you guys. But anyway, I still got some more super chats, but for some reason my super chats aren't popping up. YouTube, what are you doing to me today, man? I'm going to answer some more questions. Bear with me for a second, you guys. If you've sent super chats, I'm going to get to them, so give me a sec. But I'm going to answer some other questions in the meantime. Lorenzo Lopez, hey, nice to see you again, man. Nini, your rating Declan Rice made me question your talent ID. His progression with the ball is horrible. Just look at his stats, boom, or understat. I think it's quite decent. I'm not saying it's like on some world-class level. I think he can do it. And I think obviously you come to a club like us, because remember, he's 20 years old, only 20 years old. I'm thinking of the long term. When I look at players like this, I'm thinking, crap, if you can play like this at 20, that tells you that by the time you're 24, you'll be playing like this. Yeah, I mean, how many 20-year-olds stay at the same level? They don't. They only get better. They only improve. So that was what I was trying to explain by my reasoning behind Declan Rice. But yeah, I think he's got ability. He does. So let's not completely dismiss him. But if you're asking me between Rice or Soumare, I would sign Soumare because I think Soumare is a better player. I would have signed Bruno, but he's signed for Lyon. But something tells me we might be seeing this player sometime in the future. But I'm going to continue on. Okay. John Wick, what about Ziyech and Pulisic if Hudson-Odoi and Sancho start? Just rotate Ziyech, Pulisic and Hudson, and if two get injured, play Mount. Why need Sancho? I don't know. I think it could work. Listen, 4-2-3-1 you could have, or 4-3-3 with Saab and Ziyech playing in midfield as well. But I can imagine, let's say, Hudson on the left, Sancho right, Ziyech in the middle, Tammy up front, a mid of, I don't know, Ruben and Kante, and then behind you've got your bench options. You've got your Pulisic, Mount, bring on as well. You can bring on Kovacic too. You've got options, so I think it could work. And realistically, you know, Lampard wants a team where he can constantly rotate. I definitely know that's something he wants to do. So all these guys will get their consistent game time, and of course, playing the football we play, naturally, you do become a bit more prone to injuries. A lot of these guys are very young. You know, Hudson's still a teenager. Pulisic's still really young. So I'm not expecting them to play like, 60 games, 70 games in a season. So I think you can balance it out and everyone can get good game time. But I'm going to continue on. Christianini, what's the best striker target for Chelsea now? Werner, Martinez or Jovic? None of those guys. I would say Moussa Dembele. I think Dembele is a player that, again, he can improve and get even better. For how he plays as a 23-year-old, I mean, very good. How many under 23 strikers in the world are consistently scoring 20-plus goals a season? So we can't dismiss ability like that. And you look at how he plays the game, how he plays the Lyon midfield, you know, and his intelligence and just, you know, what he brings to the game too. Hey, Moussa Dembele has been someone that's been rated by every club's academy in this country for a reason. And he's starting to fulfill that talent that was... everyone just saw in them already. So I think him and Tammy could be two good strikers to fire out for the number one spot. You know, I keep talking about Jovic. I don't know why people keep talking about him. We don't play with strikers like that. Jovic is struggling at Real Madrid for the very same reasons. You know, he needs people to play off. That's his game. That's not going to happen. Who's he going to play off? Yeah, we're not going to play him and Tammy up front either. That would be a waste because we've got attacking options. So... yeah, I'm not seeing it like that. I've got a super chat. Francesca Temesville. £9.99. Francesca, thanks a lot for this super chat. It's a shame that you didn't give me a question though. Yeah, you kind of slip in there a little bit now, messing around. But again, thank you, Francesca, for that super chat. Wasn't expecting that, but thank you very much. I'm gonna continue on, you guys. Cardiff-born Dembele is the worst option. He's too expensive and he's not as good as the other options. But you've got to understand, Tino Werner wants Liverpool. He's spoken about Liverpool the entire year. Realistically, he'll probably go there. If not, will be a second choice option. But there's this very, very slim chance that's going to happen because he is available for a very affordable price. So we're not going to get him. Jovic, I'm not going to talk about him anymore. And Martinez, well, if Barcelona are fighting tooth and nail to get this guy, then they're pretty much dead on guarantee to sign him. So all those options, one, we don't need because he doesn't fit how we play. Two, he wants Liverpool. And three, Barcelona are involved. And Martinez not playing alongside Messi. I mean, come on now. He grew up watching this guy play. He's got the opportunity to play alongside him. You're not turning that down. So... yeah, those strikers, they're nice, they sound good, but it's not going to happen, man. Ismaila, hello, Nini. How realistic is signing Coutinho? I'm hoping it's not realistic because I don't think we need him. He's a fantasy that we don't need. I don't want to see him. Shavang, thank you, man. Who and how many Chelsea should sell this summer? Good Lord. That's a video in itself, really, which I do have in the works, so you guys will see that soon. But, of course, ideally, there's a lot of guys that need to go. You know, obviously, respect to them, of course. They did their thing for us. But for me, I don't know, Pedro, Willian, maybe it's time for them to both go. Probably say Barkley, and he's been very good. Of course, he has. But with Ruben coming back as well and us probably in the market for another mid, he could bring in a lot of money for us. I'd say Jorginho too. Great player, amazing player. But, you know, I think with how we're trying to move tactically, him, Jorginho and us are at two different points right now. So if you're asking me, I think him and his agent already know that because from what I've been telling you guys about what his agent has been saying, talks that there's a possibility that Juventus is on the horizon. Sorry, we need him to save his job. I feel like it makes a lot of sense. And you can get a lot of money for a very niche player that, of course, Juventus needs. So he can bring in a lot of money for us. And maybe one of the centre-backs, depending if there's a suitor for them. But I don't know how possible that's going to be. Of course, you're looking at Emerson. You're looking at Alonso. I think the exciting thing about us is that all these guys are on pretty decent contracts, meaning that we can get good money for them in transfers. When you look at teams like Liverpool and Man City, Man City had a very aging old team. So guys like Sanya, Zabaleta and all these guys just kind of kept it moving and didn't generate any transfer income for Man City. Liverpool was the same thing. A lot of deadwood players that had to get pushed on, and some players that were old as well. But with us, we've got players that they aren't old, they're not on the decline. We just don't need them because we're moving in one direction tactically, and these guys don't help us out anymore. A lot of these are players that worked on the previous managers that we still haven't got rid of. And, I'm thinking that there's a lot of money to be made if we're not too goddamn greedy. I don't understand this desperation to get just even 5 mil extra if it's going to dead the negotiations. It happens so often. This is why we've still got so many players on loan because of nonsense like this. Hey, let's hope that Marina comes in properly with this one, But I'm really annoyed because these super chats, they should be up on my YouTube thing. They're actually not here. I'm getting kind of stressed and know what's happening. I'm going to keep answering questions as I'm looking. So, Joannids, hey man, good to see you again. How you doing, man? How you been, bro? What do we do with Andreas? We know that he is very good, but we can't partner him with Kurt as they both play the same cover role. Hey. But long term, he will stay. Can we afford to let him go? That is such a good question. That is so hard to, because it is really hard. And you are 100% right. You are 1,000,000% right. Zuma and Christensen both play that same cover centre back role. I think that's why their defensive instincts haven't looked too good when they're playing together. And ideally, when you have Andreas or Zuma, you have to partner him alongside a more ball progressive defender. It's actually mad. It's a shame too, knowing that we've had Christensen for so long. Why don't we develop that part of his game? Could it be developed more? Is that a possibility? But if so, why have we never seen that this season under Lampard's? Zuma, I think Zuma can do a role playing on the left. Can he improve and get better? Potentially. But if you're asking me, when Zuma's your last man at the back defending, that's when he's at his element, because he's going to win that key tackle, make that key block. He's going to, beat his man. He's going to win the ball. And I think sometimes that's the defending that you need. It's hard. I feel like there'll be a real sad possibility that we'll one day see Christensen or Zuma leave. Can they both afford to stay? I'm not too sure. It's interesting. It's definitely a pick with that Lampard's in. He's going to have to make a very big decision. I think maybe Lampard could have done himself some favours, if you're asking me, if he maybe kept Luiz for one more season, giving Tomori alone. And the only reason I say that is because if Luiz stayed, he sorts out that left-hand side in the defence, because that's the position he played in all the time. And of course, Lampard saw that too, because he kept using him there in pre-season the entire time. Ideally, he was our best guy there. We've kind of missed out on that, and I think maybe Tomori could have come back for next season anyway, because as the season's ending, he hasn't been playing too much anyway. So I don't know. That, again, it's a lot of hindsight. Don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to say I'm some genie that's predicting things. Nah, it was completely hindsight. But it's worth mentioning. It's worth talking about. Let's move on. Tyler. Ferro, Owa, Grimaldo, Sane is a happy window. Sancho is better on the left, and we still haven't replaced Robin. You are right. I think we'll be getting some of that. Robbie, yeah, you're right. Owa, I'm not too sure how Owa would fit. Grimaldo, he's a decent player, interesting player. I read some of that. We are looking into him, which I'm not too sure about that because I haven't heard anything in regards to that. And Ferro, I've recognized the name, but I've lost the player, so I don't even know who you're talking about right now. But let's move on. Tony, Nini, what's your take on Richarlison? I know he's underrated. His pace, flair, height suit the way we play. We definitely need him in a Chelsea shirt. Tony, Thank you. He is a player that could work with how we do things, you know? I said that so wrong. Yeah, Richarlison, yeah, he would suit us. He would. He's got better. And Richarlison is an example of all the things I constantly talk about. You guys have mentioned a previous point about Declan Rice and how I'm saying at 20 years old, what he's doing is really good. And by the time he's 23, 24, it gives an indication of how good he could be then. Richarlison's a perfect example. I mean, for like, what is it, like 2-3 seasons? We've watched him miss, you know, opportunity after opportunity after easy opportunity after easy opportunity. We've seen it happen for how many seasons until this one? You know, it does take time to grow. You know, we even be looking at guys like Tammy and stuff. You know, he's still going to need more time to grow. The second season is always the hardest one because teams and managers understand you more and they have plans against you and things become different. I'll give you an example. Kai Havertz. It's only now as midway through the season that Kai Havertz's form returned and he got better. For the first half of the season, he was absolutely terrible. And a lot of that came down to teams knowing how to play against him and play against Leverkusen. A lot of times I think he's been playing down the right-hand side in a different setup. So that really tells you what Leverkusen had to do to counter teams. So this is like the reality of football. This is why things are really difficult at this level. And this is why, at the end of the day, with players like this, their potential is always the most important thing to look at because their potential tells you that with the right conditions, training, opportunities, etc., these guys are going to improve and get to that point. So, you know, that's how it does work. But the question is, will fans really be patient to see things like that? Let's say, for example, Tammy was to end the season with 20 goals and then next season he got 16 goals. Does that mean that he's not good enough and we should sell him because he scored 4 goals less? No, of course not. That's just how developing at this level is. We should be looking at how he's improving his game and how he's playing. They're the most important things, you know. But anyway, let me continue on. I'm just bare rambling, you guys. Cameron O'Reilly, should we sell Kante this summer? No. He doesn't fit Lampard's philosophy. He does. And the 100 million would allow us to buy players in weak positions such as wingers, strikers and left backs, but we'd be weakening ourselves by selling one of the best players in midfield in the world. And the thing is, we're not selling Kante so he goes to Arsenal or to Tottenham. If Kante was sold, he's going to Real Madrid. He's going to the best teams in the world that are going to put them on an even bigger level between us and them. And for what? I don't. Yeah, this whole Kante thing, I don't even know how it started. I just think maybe, you know, on Twitter sometimes, listen, I love the passion. Of course, we have our opinions, but I think sometimes when certain stats come into place and there's no context used behind them, they can spin some crazy narratives. They get taken out of mad proportion. Like, this talks of even selling Kante. I mean, of course, listen, if Kante was fully fit, we'd have more points this season. It's that simple. People talking about Kante not suiting. Again, it's context. You know, we have to remember we haven't been using one foot. It's not sorry like last season where we used 4-3-3 every single game, every single week. Lampard, we've seen how many different formations. We've seen the diamond. We've seen the pivot. We've seen 3 in midfield. We've seen 3 at the back. 5. We've seen so many different things. And most of those times when Kante was playing in a more offensive role, that was because he had to play in a 4-3-3 due to players being injured at the time and other options, you know. Of course, like, I feel like I remember these things more because it's like my job to remember. Like, I'm constantly talking about it, covering things, analysing, watching games again. So it's just like, obviously, you remember more details of the game. You remember a lot more things. So sometimes when I see like these things said, I feel like it's not really too fair because it's not painting the most accurate picture. If you were to judge Kante on the games where, you know, we played against teams that parked the bus and he was in a 4-3-3, for him not suiting things, I mean, that's not really fair in my opinion, because they're the exact games that people remember. That they're then remembering, okay, Kante wasn't good, I guess he doesn't suit Lampard. No, it was circumstantial. That's what happens. So yeah, it's definitely not a case of selling Kante over a few games in the season against teams that parked the bus. And at the time the team was all over the place. Nah, not for me, man. Let's continue on. Your homie 12. Nah, they'll hastily change this. Oh damn, sorry man, you lost me. Al Hamza, Marshall, or Sancho? Oh, you know what? It gets you thinking. What if we were able to actually pull through that Marshall deal? You know, because obviously everything I told you guys was correct. Of course, the journals even to we were seriously talking to Man United about Marshall, but of course in the end we know what happened. He agreed to stay with them, and I guess he just decided that he was just going to stay at a certain level and not progress. So hey, that's on him, But let me continue on. Quicksilver beats 3 best alternatives to Sancho. Good lords. I'd say Jeremy Boga's one. Who's another alternative to Sancho? You guys, I'm not constantly thinking of this type of stuff. I'm keeping it real. So for me, second option would probably be like a Jeremy Boga. I think. I think it'd be quite good if you sign Boga. It means that you can spend more, maybe signing a striker or maybe a mids. Who knows? But I think he'd be mad. Deck. Is Dembele too expensive an option for us, especially if we're still in the running for Sancho? And if you're paying 70 mil for him, you have to assume he's starting over Tammy and he'll earn 180k a week. I don't think that's an assumption. I don't think that would entirely be the case, to be honest. So the market's obviously inflated. Don't know how much Lyon could actually command, because I know that Lyon are in like financial situations in themselves. It looks like they're not getting Champions League football because their league form has been so poor this season. So whatever aspirations they had of sitting Dembele for 70, 60 mil, I don't think that's going to be the reality anymore, to be honest. So let's see what happens as time goes on. Who knows if we can sweeten the offer, maybe pay more cash up front. Who knows? But I don't know. I think it's just we're making hasty assumptions, to be honest. I guess I can see why, of course, Dembele, if you're signing for us, you're thinking, I want to guarantee my spot of first team football. But I think every striker that we're in for kind of knows the situation. That would be discussed with them. They know that they're not guaranteeing anything. So maybe that's how we're looking at a certain profile of striker. Who knows? But I don't know. I've always thought maybe to have like 2 big name strikers, does that really work too much? Maybe with us, but thinking at this point in time, we don't know who's going to be our number one for the years to come. We want players to compete so we can find out who's going to be the number one. Maybe that's an expensive gamble we're willing to take. But I don't know. I think for 70 mil, 180, I think he'll be a lot less than that. So let's see what his actual price will be in the future, and let's see what happens really. But let us go on. Sagar, Nini, Sagar, Singh. So why did I say it like that? Apologies, man. Nini, any news on Alex Telles? Nope, nothing new, the same old stuff. Ungadan, Nini, why does everyone want Jaden if we already signed an amazing baller for less than 40 mil? And Hakim is a wonderful player. People are underrating him. I don't think I don't think anyone's really underrating him. I haven't seen too much Ziyech slander. I think we could probably see these guys play together. Ziyech, Sancho, Hudson, 4-2-3-1. Hey, that could work as well. But no, you are right. I think Ziyech was a signing that had to be made. I think for the price of what he's going to bring, for how we play, he really is needed. And I see him being like a first-team player immediately. But of course, it means that you do lose out in the attacking areas. Maybe Lampard's thinking Sancho, Ziyech, and Hudson and Pulisic have to fight for their place because they're both still really young. Who knows? Who knows at this point? I mean, there's so much like speculation. It's actually mad. But let me continue on. Orly, call-in show. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow. My issue with the call-in show is that I can't find the right format. I feel like I'm trying to find that perfect format to make things like more flowing. I don't like when I have to wait for people, and I feel like I leave clear instructions that are never clear for some reason. So I think I've got to find a way to make it even clearer. So I do want to bring them back, especially for next month. I've got a lot of stuff planned too, so it should be good, you guys. Lloyds, how do you rate Chelsea so far this season? If I was to give us a rating, I'll probably give us like 7.5 out of 10. Maybe like what? B minus, a B. I think it's been that type of season. I expected us to get a top four spot. I think we're on target and on course to still do that. I kind of expected our season to have highs and lows naturally due to the circumstances we were in. So I got to be real with you. This season isn't really taking me by too much of a surprise. And I think maybe that's why in some of my reviews or videos, maybe I'm not being as emotive. I'm not really like too in the moment because you guys know that I'm very like long-term thinking all the time. So again, I know like what trajectory we're on. So I know that at the start of that, it's going to give you certain results, you know. So yeah, I think it's been like a B. It's been a good season. Lampard's showing that he does have the ability and the quality to lead us. I think that was all it was about. You know, is this a project that has legs? Does this have foundations? Can we build from this? Can we do something from this? And I think this season has most definitely proved that fact, you guys. But anyway, let me continue on. Dara, do we need a world-class centre back? If so, who? Again, you know, most of our defensive issues this season have mainly been from like the fullbacks or from the midfield. The only defenders to really cost us from like individual mistakes have been when Rudiger and Christensen have been playing together, which is a surprise because they lose out on like 50-50 battles or just unluckiness, you know. But I think it would be a waste to spend so much money on a world-class defender, and I feel like maybe the team would improve and get better results if other areas, especially more attacking areas, were prioritized. I think that next, you know, of course, they're all young. Our defenders are only going to get better and improve and improve and improve. You know, when we talk of Tomori, Christensen, Zuma, let's not see them as guys that are going to be at this level forever until they retire. It's not going to be like that. They're only going to get better because, you know, defenders don't reach their peak until like 25, 26 anyway. We saw that with guys like Terry for example, etc., etc. So it's just a natural byproduct of how development is. So again, I've still got high hopes for all these guys. Let me go on. Michael, with Gilmore, our defense has been good. Yeah, our defense has been good. You know, Lampard has found a lot of unique ways to help the defense as well. Like, for example, I think the game against Everton, if you guys notice, we had our fullbacks following runners, Everton runners in midfield. Obviously, the goal was to not let Gilmore get too exposed, and that way, you know, they get extra support from the fullbacks tucking in deeper. That was a great way to defend against Everton, and yeah, Gilmore winning the ball back, kickstarting our attacks very classily, so much ability as well. He looks like a very exciting top player, and yeah, it's good, you know. It definitely made me realize even more why I need to always see players in the long term. Because I think there was one video in the past where I mentioned Gilmore always looks a bit nervous when he plays. You know, he's making like sloppy mistakes, like not moving on the board as fast or something. And then I guess in my own thoughts, my own private thoughts, I was thinking, yeah, is he as good as we think he is? So I'm very happy to be disproven wrong immediately, and it just gets you, like, it just goes to show, you know, you got to be patient, you got to understand the circumstances, you got to like give these guys just a bit of time to get their nerves, because they're human, they're like young guys just trying to like kickstart their career, you know. So of course there's going to be like difficult periods like that, but yeah, Gilmore, excellent performance. Man of the matches against Liverpool and Everton, absolutely mad. Stefan Nini, in my opinion, I think Alex Tellez' stats show he's a better option for the left-back position. I think he is a very good one. I'm always going to tell you, my favourite left-back, the one I hope we sign, is Tagliafico. I think he's a great player for that price too. I think that makes him the best option out of Chilwell, easily, because he's a much better player, and out of Alex Tellez, because I think he's a better overall player than Tellez. You know, Tellez has like amazing attributes with his you know, how he plays in the attacking phase. But I just think maybe, you know, defensively, you're in the Portuguese league. I mean, who are you really up against? In the Premier League, against so many different teams. And there's a lot of great attacking players in the league. There'll be even more next season as well. You know, how is Tellez going to cope in that sense if he's left isolated by himself at times? That's what I want to know. But I'm just thinking with Tagliafico, that is not an issue at all. You know, look how he played for Ajax in the Champions League. Look how he played against us. The only Ajax player that really come out like, wow, what a player. for 25 million for a player like him. These are the smart signings I want us to make. You know, sign him up. Let me continue on. Jim, Nini, what is your opinion on the statement regarding the stadium plans? I'll get back to that question, man. Denian, can Mount and Loftus-Cheek coexist? I've been thinking about this. Potentially, you know, I look at Mount's defensive game. I think it's really, really good for someone his age. I love that he seems to have this like extra desire due to, I mean, he spoke about himself, you know, his granddad being a boxer and just instilling that type of like grit, you know, like into his soul, if you know what I mean. And, you know, when you have that as part of like your character, that gives you like that extra like mental edge. So Mount's really showing that, okay, let's say, like what the last game against Everton when he was playing it in midfield with Barkley and Coro, I was thinking, you know, he looked really impressive. And I thought, okay, without Kante, Mount was winning balls higher up, as you've seen him do all season. And he says that he likes to play in a deeper role in midfield. I think he has the defensive discipline to play in that role. And I think maybe alongside Ruben, it could potentially work. Yeah, who knows? I think it could. I think it'd be great to see it tested out in a game at some point in the future. Hopefully we'll see that at some point. Hopefully like a Carabao Cup game, you know, Gilmore, Mount, Ruben, that would be fun to see. But yeah, I'm sure Lampard would want to do that himself. Get as many academy grads as possible in the first team. Let's see how we do with that. But what other questions? You guys, I'm going to be here for the next like 8 minutes. I let you guys know there is going to be a tier list video tomorrow. It's going to be a big one, at least like 20 something minutes. So you guys are going to be enjoying that. And I'll probably do another live stream show tomorrow. I'm going to start doing streams more regular, get back in the groove with things. And yeah, it's going to be... it's going to be exciting, you know. In that, you know, now that the season's over, it's kind of cool because it's giving me time to just like sit back, just, you know, relax and really create, brainstorm and think about how I'm going to plan things, revamp things, restructure. Because, you know, with the grind of the season, we've got so many games to cover, you know, every few days. It doesn't give you that flexibility to maybe create and delve into other things. So this is a great period for me right now. I've been trying to make the most of things, as you guys can see. I literally just bought myself a whiteboard literally 2 days ago. Just so I've been brainstorming bare stuff here. So yeah, I feel optimistic for the future. But let me continue on. Gabriel from Lil Thoughts. I've spoken about them earlier, man. RV. Nini to Sagan, Alaba could be available this summer at a good price due to their contract situations. What I'll be saying, I think Ter Stegen is doing that classic thing that players like that always do. Yeah, I'm going to leave. No, you're not. You'll get the contract you want. Alaba is a different story. I'm getting the impression now that Alphonso Davies is here. You know, Bayern, I guess you kind of have to give him that spot now, you know. Alaba, and let's not forget, Bayern have had a lot of injury problems this season. Alaba's a player that, you know, he can play any single position and be absolutely amazing. But I don't get the impression he wants to be playing as a defender. You know, if he was available, Alaba on the market, of course, he'd have to be number one priority. If Alaba was available on the market, he would have to be. That would be mad to see. You know, Bayern have a habit of like a big player every now and then will leave, like Michael Ballack, Toni Kroos. It seems like it's that time now for like another one to be going. You know, we thought it was going to be Lewandowski. Is it going to be Alaba? I don't know. With Alphonso Davies, Alaba, could they coexist? I don't know, you guys. Maybe, you know, he might be available in the window. I'm here for the next 5 more minutes, you guys. So if anyone wants their questions prioritized, super chat, because damn, the questions are flooding in real quick. Okay. Oh yeah. Nini, do you think we'll get Sancho? Yeah. I mean, no. I've answered that already before. My bad. Charles Zolling, if we fail to sign Sancho, what other world-class winger should we sign? Has to be Jeremy Boga for me. Imzi, Nini, do you reckon the league will be voided? I'm not. It depends on how circumstances change. Let's see what happens once it gets to the 30th of April. I think there's so many things could happen that I don't even want to start speculating just yet. Andrew Hayes, Akiin, I think Nathan Lackey could be a smart buy. Let me go on. That's our recent history with record signings makes me speculate that maybe there are elements at the club, like management pressure, which are causing underperformance. Wait, I need to read that again. Our recent history with record signings makes me speculate that maybe there are elements at the club. Oh, like management pressure, like when we signed players like Torres and Shevchenko, the managers didn't want any of those players, and it was the board that basically forced the signings. Are we doing a similar thing with Sancho? Oh, that is a good question. I don't know. Part of me feels like if the board were moving like that, I'm here for it. But at the same time, I'm trying to think from Lampard's perspective, if he's got him, Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi, he knows that one of these guys is guaranteed less game time. Who do you sacrifice? That is an interesting one. I don't know. I kind of feel like we're all not seeing the situation, right? I still keep thinking that if Sancho was signed, everyone could coexist still. So, yeah, I can't say, if the boards want to move for Sancho, hey, I'm not going to say no to them. Let me go on Zion. Hakimi at left back? Not too sure, man. Someone else in the chat said FM20 Chelsea series would be good. Maybe revive the Nini FC channel. Hey, maybe. Hey, that could be interesting. I think maybe it would have to be at some point in the future because, there's some things I'm working on behind the scenes, some things I'm doing, which you guys will be seeing next month. So I'm excited for you guys to see what's been happening, really. So, yeah, if there was time, I've thought of like FM, I've thought of FIFA, all that type of stuff. I'm thinking maybe next season I might do a little FIFA series to add to the channel, and it would be me just trying to build the very best Chelsea team on Ultimate Team. I got to use them in Weekend League and all that type of stuff, and that's all I can do, improve it week in, week out. That is something I consider, So, hey, let's see what the future holds. King Zola 25. Okay, Azpilicueta, Ivanovic, or Reece James. Ooh. Prime Ivanovic, he was a thing of beauty. Let's not forget Prime Ivanovic. I remember the goals against Man City when we beat them 1-0 away at the Etihad, one of the best Mourinho performances we've seen for a very long time. We can't forget the final against Benfica. Liverpool, scoring 2 goals. Prime Ivanovic was fast, and that's one thing we forget. He was really fast because that was one of the reasons why he played as a right back. You could play in both boxes. His delivery, he kept up with his man. I remember in that game against Barcelona, he was keeping up with Thierry Henry, and I was like, oh shit, Ivanovic, he's got speed, I'd say Prime, I'd say Ivanovic for now. If you ask me for the future, I'd say Reece James without a doubt. I just see this guy going to the very top. Azpilicueta, he's rarely played as a right back for us, really. He's played more as a left back than a right back. He's played in defence too for a long time. I see him more as just like the ultimate utility defender. So I think at this point in time, I'd say Prime Ivanovic. Okay, Zach. Wow. Most important person for Chelsea next season. I don't even know what that question means, bro. You keep spamming it so much that it's getting on my nerves, man. And it's not even making no sense to. So you might have to come correct next time. Okay. Deck. Nini, thoughts on the new leaked third kit that people are saying look like Crystal Palace's shirt? Oh, that's a nice question to end the stream on, Actually, no, I've got some super chats afterwards. I need to actually find out why they're not popping up on the screen. So give me a sec, you guys. But to answer that question, I can't go into too much detail. But I actually heard something about why the kit's looking like that. All I'm saying is maybe a certain person in at the top, they have a theory where they feel like teams that wear reds historically win more. And I've been hearing that maybe this person has wanted a red theme influence kit for a long time. And I guess that's why we have this next season's kit looking like Crystal Palace's training kit, if you're asking me. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Just red just doesn't like sit too well with me. Like everything we could have done, reds. But well, it just goes to show you guys, football clubs are becoming like the rich things for rich people. They can do whatever the hell they want. It doesn't make any sense at this point in time. But yeah, come on. It's looking like Crystal Palace's third kit. I'm not really feeling it too much. Who knows? Maybe they're gonna gas it with a promotional campaign that's gonna be like, oh shit, I need to buy it now because I don't know. I don't know how they'll make me. I don't know how they'll gas me into buying it. They'll find a way though. That's what these marketing men get paid for. But yeah, it's all mad really. But Ollie, I heard you're from. Oh, I'm not even gonna answer that one. I'm in a good mood today. That's why I laughed at that one. You're a dickhead for that, but nah, that was kind of funny. Jamon Mullings, how confident are you that Hudson-Odoi can reach a level similar to Sancho? Well, you know, I'm very confident. Hudson-Odoi has just come down to lack of consistency because injuries. I think we all knew from the start, and once he got that injury at the end of Sarri's season, that was affecting what he did this season, and no surprise. You're asking me, once these guys have another preseason, then you'll see what they're really about. Again, as I keep saying, I don't understand why we're trying to see guys who are full of potential as if, like, I'm saying that so wrong. I don't know why we're just so quick to just want to see these guys to be like they're going to be at the same level they're going to be at forever. You know what I mean? Like, these guys have potential. They're going to improve. They're going to become even better. Yeah, I still don't like how I answered that question. You know what, you guys? I'm getting kind of tired right now. It's 10. I've had a long ass day tomorrow. I'm going to have an even longer day because there's going to be a lot of videos coming out tomorrow. So it is going to be fun. Before I go, I do want to find the super chat so I can answer them. Normally, there should be in a tab somewhere. So you guys just give me a sec so I can answer. You guys who sent super chats, apologies to. Sometimes YouTube can just be really slow. Now, yep, nice. They've all popped up on screen now. Thank God. So I'm going to start answering one of them now. Okay, Andrew. Thank you for the super chat, man. Andrew, what area does Lampard most need to improve in? I think the key area we need would be left back. I think we definitely need a really good left back. Because we need that attacking balance. We want quality delivery coming from both flanks. We need speed down that side as well. You know, when you're playing with wingers like Hudson, Pulis, etc., you need to give these guys quality, fast fullback options behind them. Look at Bayern Munich recently. Look at how Alphonso Davies and Gnabry play together. That's what you need to have. That's the partnership you need to have. So I think left back, because we can't get that from Emerson or Marcos Alonso, left back would be a great area to really improve the team tactically. Let me continue on. PS Drift. Thoughts on centre-back links, Kumbula and Gabriel. I think Gabriel looks interesting. Left-foot Brazilian. He's having a fairly decent season for Lille. Kumbula, I don't know anything about, only from what I've been reading about him. So, and I still don't know nothing about him, to be honest. So I don't know how to feel about that one. Yeah, it's interesting. Dan O'Flaherty, thank you, man. Congrats on 80k. You know what was really funny? My girlfriend actually had to tell me that I was on 80k. I did not even realize myself. Not because it's like I don't care. It's just because I don't care. Like, I don't like do YouTube for like. I'm not someone that like needs that validation in that sense. You know, I'm not doing things to get like, oh, I want to be big. I want to get the most views, etc. I think at this stage right now, you know, I'm on a point now where I just want to think about how I can like really maximize and improve the content. And it's long because it's like there's so many factors and things to consider, recreate, build, format. A lot goes into it. So I'm really hoping that next season, touch where that comes back. Next season, you guys are going to see the best ever content from me. It's going to be like a culmination of like all the experience I've got being on YouTube for so long, all my ideas, understanding and stuff. I'm really excited for that. You guys should be too. It's going to be big. So I'm going to continue on. Shivang, I've answered your question. How many should we sell? Michael Moose, you will be the final question. Rumors say we signed Gabriel today. Thoughts, bro? Again, I don't know too much about this story. You know, Duncan Castle has proven to be a very genuine source quite a few times, to be fair. I don't know. I need to ask some people that I know, see if there's any like traction behind things. There possibly could be, and maybe he's the first one to break the story. I mean, if he was signed, what does this mean? What does this mean for our centre backs? Does this mean that one of them is guaranteed to go? And if that's so, who's that going to be? There's a lot of things to consider, a lot of things to think about. I think I might have to give some more thoughts and opinions on that story in a video tomorrow. So yeah, you guys, today I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Thank you for watching. I'll probably bring back another Q&A live stream tomorrow, and hopefully at some point soon I'm going to bring back the subscriber calling show, because I want to bring that back. I've got a few ideas on how I can improve that as well and make it more entertaining. I like the idea of having debates where you guys won't be debating with me, but you can be debating with each other, and I can be the media in between. You know, there's a lot of things in the works, and I'm going to be finalizing very soon what's sticking, what's going. So yeah, I thought I'd give you guys a little mini update behind what's happening on Blue Lions TV. I know I haven't been as consistent this year. There has been times where I have been taking time off, etc., etc. That could happen a few more times as the season does go on, especially you know, before the next season starts. But by the time the next season starts, I think things are going to be in full operation. So you guys, on that point, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm in the FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll see you guys later for some more videos.